We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, and now in Albuquerque, New Mexico on 1000 KKIM. So, Clay, what do you think of Alan Keyes?
You know, somebody who talks straight talk.
But in the second half, we have a friend of the program, author of a very, very timely book right now, The Coming Revolution, Struggle for Freedom in the Middle East, Fox contributor and advisor to the U.S. House of Representatives, Dr. Walid Phares. Dr. Phares, welcome back to Taking Care of Business.
Thank you so much for having me today.
You know, I was doing a little more research. We've had you on a couple of times, and I appreciate the fact that you come on the show for us. But I didn't realize that you have 10 books on the Middle East.
That's true, 10 books. It all started actually in the 80s in my native Beirut, Lebanon. My first 6 books, and then one in the 90s in the U.S. And the most recent ones, we call them the post-9/11 books, starting with Future Jihad in 2005, and the one you just mentioned now, the one that actually predicted the Arab Spring. Its title is The Coming Revolution, Struggle for Freedom in the Middle East.
Well, I've read parts of that book, and it's an excellent, excellent book, and it's very timely, especially considering what's going on in Egypt right now. So what is going on in Egypt? Is this a good thing for freedom?
Look, yes. I mean, people are divided in Washington, but people who have a good insight as to the real struggle inside, I mean, the equation would tell you long run is good, medium run is good. It all depends also on how Washington, as if for everything else, how Washington and the administration are going to react. So this is the bottom line of what has happened. The first wave of the Arab Spring that hit Egypt in 2011, that first wave were made of young people, youth, women, minorities, Copts, what have you. Then the revolution was seized by the Muslim Brotherhood, who won elections because they were organized, funded, and more importantly, they were actually given visibility by the Obama administration. I mean, they were partnered with. And until Mr. Morsi became president and started to show the real teeth of the Brotherhood. Constitutionally speaking, he formed a militia, put people in jail. So the Egyptian civil society came back on the streets last month. And on Sunday, that's a big D-Day, close to 25 to 30 million people took to the streets of Egypt. So this is not just political parties, this is Egypt itself, to reject the Brotherhood. And the army sided with them. So I end by saying the debate in America is this a coup? This is not a coup. This was a revolution, and the army had to come, side with the people, and get Morsi out.
That's amazing what's taking place there, and it's amazing to me how the people are so much against Obama in Egypt.
Yes, if you look at this, I mean, we were warning. I mean, I had many briefings to Congress, and I, through the media, warned the administration that the exclusive partnership with the Islamists, with the Brotherhood. I didn't say don't talk to the Brotherhood. I mentioned if you're going to do an exclusive partnership with the Brotherhood is not changing. It's not.
Oh, you're breaking up there. Dr. Phares, you're breaking up there.
Yes.
Oh, you're breaking up there.
Oh, did you hear me what I said?
We didn't quite hear your answer to that.
Oh, I am so sorry. What I'm saying, the mistake by the administration was to exclusively partner with the Brotherhood, and by doing so, when civil society rose, they're going to criticize, the Obama administration, not the United States, the Obama administration.
Now, is the Muslim Brotherhood gone now? Or is there a chance that they may come back?
Well, as in every revolution and those changes, these transitional times, no, the Brotherhood are inside Egypt. They are the largest militia inside Egypt. I don't want to call them the Taliban of Egypt, but that's what they could do if they're not satisfied with what's happening. But the bottom line for me are two things. Number one, that the people of Egypt rose. And two, that the Brotherhood are not in official buildings. I was very concerned to see them in the defense, education, information ministries. That would have really taken Egypt to become like Iran. So now Egypt is in a transition, real transition, but they still have to handle not just the Brotherhood, even many jihadists, meaning even active terrorist jihadists as well.
Well, and the other thing we're looking at here is, besides the Muslim Brotherhood, is in any administration, a new administration in Egypt, is it going to make a difference for Egyptian Christians? Are they going to be safe?
That is actually the second greatest question of the day. I am in communication with Coptic leaders. We have organized a Coptic/Egyptian conference in Congress just 3 days before and about 12 members of Congress spoke. And the common idea is this: whoever is going to be coming after the Brotherhood has to commit to recognizing the Copts as a community and to give them the same rights that other Egyptians. So yes, you're right. The measurement for the next government is not just to be against the Brotherhood, is to give visibility and give rights to the Coptic Christian minority.
We're having a conversation with the author of The Coming Revolution, expert on Middle East affairs, Dr. Walid Phares.
Dr. Phares, I know that you're a consultant to our government regarding foreign affairs, but how is this situation in Egypt going to impact Israel?
Well, this is the deal. The Muslim Brotherhood basically has played a two-track game with the United States and therefore with Israel. On the one hand, Mr. Morsi says, I am the one who can guarantee ceasefires with Hamas, and he did so. But on the other hand, he was the one of the regime that brought weapons, weapons to them through the Red Sea, through Sudan, through the Sinai, to Hamas. So he sort of took Camp David and the issue of Hamas as a hostage for the United States to continue to support him, because his strategy was, and that's crucial for the public to understand, the strategy of the Brotherhood was consolidating the Islamist regime in Egypt and then going after Israel, dismantling the Camp David agreement. So he was caught before he was able to consolidate in Egypt. So I would say the current government is a much better guarantee for maintaining Camp David than the Brotherhood government.
Now, was this a coup?
No, this was a revolution. I mean, when you have 25 to 30 million people pounding the ground for a democratic change, look at Eastern Europe, and then everybody, including the bureaucrats, including the military, marching with them, not installing a general, not installing a military government, but it's a revolution where the army sided with the people.
So we continue to borrow money from China, and then we turn around and we're going to continue to give Egypt $1.5 billion this year?
I think the invoice for this year has been done, by the way, meaning the money for this year is gone. The debate is about next year. There were some voices in Congress saying we're going to stop because this was a coup, but then everybody realized, I mean, almost in Congress, that you've got to have the Egyptian army ready to fight, because their fight now is against the jihadists who have been very active. They will have to protect the Suez Canal. They will have to work with us on counterterrorism. Remember, this is an army with whom we have worked and trained for the last 30 years. It's not the army, it's the political regime that we have to make sure it's democratic. Under Mubarak, it was pro-American, not democratic. Under Morsi, it was anti-American and non-democratic. What we need to see now, after hopefully soon-to-be elections, is a government that we will consider as a friend Camp David.
You know, we're breaking up there a little bit, Dr. Phares. We're going to take a break and then see if we can recall you back on that number and make it a little clearer, okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk 1180.